And good early morning, YouTube. How you guys doing? Derek here, JC Blues 45. I really hope you enjoyed the video earlier of me revealing the mystery boxes um, at Tegan's. Um, that I think was a very good touch, doing it at a location and showing off the new jerseys. Um, so with that being said, let's get right into this post game report, shall we? 12 games on the dock. And on the other side. So here we go. Remember, if you happen to like this video, give me that thumbs up tool. It's very important. Helps promote the channel. And if you happen to... That's just my hair. Okay. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe icon. And you can be notified every time you... if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, click the bell and you can customize it every time also. So here we go. Starting off with Tampa at Columbus. I called for Tampa. Entering the matchup, Tampa was 4-2-3 with 11 points. Columbus 3-4-2 and 8 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, Columbus beat the Lightning by a score of 4-2. Shots on goal were the Blue Jackets 28, Lightning 29. Blue Jackets had 27 saves with the Lightning 24. Columbus was 0 for 4 on the power play with Tampa 0 for 3 on the power play. Well, they're still neck and neck in the points. They're right near each other. So we'll see what can happen. As you know, they'll meet each other again later in the season. Next was Florida at Detroit. Entering the matchup, Florida was 4-3-1. Detroit was 6-3-1. Oh, and 9 points for Florida, 13 points for Detroit. And at the end of 16 minutes, Florida beats the Detroit Red Wings by a score of 2-0. Shots on goal were the Panthers 27, the Red Wings 22. The Panthers had 22 saves, of course, because they shut them out. And the Red Wings had 25 saves, and both teams were 0 for 5 on the power play. Florida picks up a big win, and they're still neck and points. You know, Florida now has 11, Detroit has 13. Very close in the Atlantic Division, but anything can happen, folks. And you know, these two teams are going to meet each other again later in the season. So it's going to be an all-out battle. Next, we had a battle in the Metropolitan Division between Carolina and the New York Rangers. Entering the matchup, Carolina was 6-4-0 and 12 points. The New York Rangers were 7-2-0 and 14 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the New York Rangers beat the Carolina Panthers. Why did I say Panthers? So that's the football team. The Carolina Hurricanes by a score of 2-1. Shots on goal, the Rangers 26, the Hurricanes 27. Rangers had 26 saves. 26 saves. And the Canes had 24. The New York Rangers were 1 for 5 on the power play with the Carolina 1 for 2 on the power play. Currently, New York's on a 6-game winning streak. And they're looking good. So we'll see what can happen. Next is LA at Ottawa. So currently in these 3 games, I'm 1-2, 1-2-0. Can I improve? We'll find out. Next was LA at Ottawa. Entering the matchup, LA was 5-2-2 and 12 points. Ottawa 4-4-0 and 8 points. And I picked Ottawa. And At the end of 16 minutes, the LA Kings beat the Ottawa Senators by a score of 3-2. Shots on goal, Kings 38, the Sens 26. The Kings had 24 saves with the Sens 35. LA had 1 for 4 on the power play with Ottawa 1 for 3 on the power play. LA picked up his 14th point. Anything can happen, folks. I'm telling you. Folks, the season's still young. You never know what can happen. Okay. Next, another battle of the Metropolitan between the New York Islanders and the Washington Capitals. Entering the matchup, the New York Islanders was 4-2-2 and 10 points. Washington 4-3-1 and 9 points. At the end of 16 minutes, the Islanders shut out the Capitals by a score of 3-0. Shots on goal were 21 for the Islanders, 32 for the Caps, 32 saves for the Isles, and 18 saves for the Caps. And the New York Islanders were 0 for 2 on the power play with Washington 0 for 3 on the power play. Fifth win for the Islanders, but anything can happen, folks, like I said. Next was Toronto at here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next we had the Toronto Maple Leafs at the Boston Bruins. Entering this matchup, Toronto was 5-3-1 and 11 points. Boston 8-0-1 and 17 points. And folks, this had to go into overtime. No score in the overtime, so it had to go into a shootout. The results of that shootout were Toronto 0 for 2, Boston 1 for 2. They win by a score of 3-2. Now, the stats I'm going to give you were after the overtime, okay? Shots on goal, Bruins 40, the Leafs 35. Bruins had 33 saves, the Leafs 38, and both teams were 0 for 2 on the power play. So, despite picking up a point, Toronto picks up a point. Boston is on a 10-game point streak. They're 9-0-1. They are basically like Vegas. Now, right now, Boston's the best team in the East. But, folks, like I keep saying in all these videos, as we're early in the season, it's early in the season, folks. A lot of things can change, and you never know what's going to happen. And that is the truth, folks. And hold on here. I don't have stats for one game, so hold on here. Okay, sorry about that. So, after 6 games so far, folks, I'm 2-4. Can I prove it? I will find out. Next was New Jersey at Minnesota. Entered the matchup. New Jersey was 5-2-1 and 11 points. Minnesota 3-4-2 and 8 points. I went with New Jersey, as you know, and at the end of 16 minutes, the New Jersey Devils beat the Minnesota Wild by 3. Shots on goal, Devils 38, the Wild 25. The Devils had 22 saves with the Wild 33. While New Jersey was 3 for 5 on the power play, Minnesota was 1 for 2 on the power play. 6 win for the Devils, but you never know, folks. Next was Dallas at Edmonton. Entering the matchup, Dallas is 6-1-1 and 13 points. Edmonton is 2-5-1 and 5 points. And at the end of 16 minutes, the Dallas Stars beat the Edmonton Oilers by a score of 4-3. Shots on goal, Stars 27, Oilers 49. Yeah. Stars had 46 stays with the Orioles 23. Dallas was 1 for 2 on the power play with Edmonton 0 for 4 on the power play. 7 wins for the Stars, one of their best starts in team history. Right here, I gotta count these games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next was Montreal, Arizona. And entering the matchup, Montreal was 5, 2, and 2, and 12 points. Arizona 4, 4, and 1, and 9 points. At the end of 60 minutes, Montreal loses by a score of 3 to 2. Shots on goal: Coyotes 35, Montreal, the Canadiens 30. The Coyotes had 28 saves with the Habs 32. Arizona was 1 for 4 on the power play with Montreal 1 for 5. Well, the Coyotes are on a pretty good start, their 5th win of the season, but folks, it's a long season. Next, the Seattle Kraken at home against the Nashville Predators. Entering the matchup, Nashville was 4, 5, and 0, and 8 points. Seattle 3, 5, and 2, and also 8 points. At the end of 60 minutes, the Seattle Kraken beat the Nashville Predators by a score of 4 to 2. The Kraken had 31 shots with the Predators 34. The Kraken had 32 saves with the Preds 27. Seattle was 1 for 4 on the power play with Nashville 2 for 5 on the power play. Well, 4th win for the Kraken, their 10th point. So we'll see what can happen. Next, Winnipeg taking on the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Golden Knights. Entering the matchup, Winnipeg was 4, 3, and 2, and 10 points. Vegas, best start in league history by a defending Stanley Cup champion, 9, 0, and 1, and 19 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Vegas Golden Knights beat the Winnipeg Jets by a score of 5 to 2. Shots on goal: Golden Knights 26, Jets 31. The Golden Knights had 29 saves with the Jets 21. And Vegas was 2 for 4 on the power play with the Jets 1 for 5. 11-game point streak for the Knights. They're now on an 11-game point streak. They have scored at least 1 point in every game. And technically, they are the second undefeated team in, they're the other undefeated team in the league right now. And like we also said, like I said, the Knights currently are the best team, defending Stanley Cup champions to start off this good. So you never know what can happen, folks. There's a possibility that the Knights could not lose at all, but you never know, folks. So we'll wait and see as we get farther into the season. And finally, folks, the last game of the night, Vancouver at San Jose. Entering this matchup, Vancouver 6, 2, and 1, and 13 points. San Jose, worst start by the team in team history. 0, 8, and 1 with 1 point. And folks, at the end of 16 minutes, the Vancouver Canucks creamed the San Jose Sharks by a score of 10 to 1. 10 to 1. Shots on goal: the Canucks 33, Sharks 31. The Canucks had 30 saves with the Sharks 23. Vancouver was 4 for 5 on the power play with the Sharks 1 for 3. Once again, worst start in team history for the Sharks. They need to get out of this rut they're in. They are not looking good at all, folks. I'm telling you, this is not looking good for the Sharks at all. Now, I'll be right back real fast. I gotta grab a sheet and give you an update. Okay, I'm back. And, folks, tonight I finished with a record of 5 wins, 7 losses, no OTS, which is great. But this now puts my seasonal record at 27, 37, and 8. Not the best of records. But folks, as you know, I keep saying it, the season's young, anything can happen. Hopefully I can get better with my picks. Alright folks, as always, please stay safe, take care. Remember the Lord's watching it. I love you guys a lot, and I'll see you guys later today for the pregame report. Because we only got 2 games on the dot, but hey, what can you do? So until then, peace.